Yes,
Hi.
Karen.
Hi.
There you are. Okay.
It's the wonders of technology.
So happy to see you.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How is everyone with us? Let me just get this right here.
Yeah, no, I said, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all, depending on where they are in the world at this moment.
Yes.
We're so happy to have you. Again, it's Karen Ballou, founder of Immunocologie, and we'll be speaking about summer skincare, clean beauty, retailing beauty within retail concepts.
So much.
And so much to talk about. So much to talk about. So maybe we'll start with, for those who may not know, would you like to speak a bit about Immunocologie, how you founded the line, and anything that you would like to share about that?
Oh, I would love to.
Behind it, really, I think would be really interesting for our viewers to hear.
Well, thank you. And Colleen, it's so great to see you, and what a great time. I just to be with COTERIE and to be part of this new platform. I'm very excited, and congratulations on your new job too with COTERIE.
So happy to have you with us.
Very exciting times. We've got a lot of good things, and thank you for taking the time to in the beginning here, getting on a technology. Sometimes it's like I could hear you, couldn't hear me, but
but we're here.
I know. I'm like, I always get that nervous jitter in the beginning because it's like, oh my gosh, just get me on. But thank you for having me today, and COTERIE having me. So first of all, I want to say that we always have this thing. I think all of us have this little I want to say birdie in the back who says, you should go do this, or you should do that. Well, in a major part for my life was always to be helpful to people in the area of skin. So my whole career has been about working with people and consulting people on their skin regimens and how to help people with their skin. So I've worked with many different brands, helping them in consulting and helping them to build them. So this is sort of a place for me that I've been very, I want to say, passionate about. And through the years in my consulting, I had many times had an opportunity to learn about new biotech and about new plants that are being used in skincare. And, so a lot of people would bring this to me. So I always called it seed to market, right? Because you take a seed and you're going to see what that seed can do, and you bring it to market. And so I had the good fortune about 14 years ago to be introduced to French green clay. Now, it's not a clay that I didn't know about, but the way this clay was put together and the way it functioned and the way that the technology and the patent technology, that was different. And I got so intrigued by it, and I had to learn everything about it. And so for 2 years, I was learning about French green clay. Well, during that period of time, I then got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So that stopped me a little bit, but I was then, so intrigued with this clay that I decided that I would take this patent technology that was part of this clay with the green clay. And during my chemo treatments and radiation treatments, and I was sick for a year, so I would use this on my skin. And the clay was taking out toxins and it was hydrating my skin. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. And the water was actually the part of it, because they took water in the clay and brought it together and brought this water into the clay. So it helped with the transdermal water loss that would happen during chemo. So being as sick as I was, one of the things that I knew is that I had to get well. I wasn't really focused on, was I going to start a brand or what was I going to do? I just wanted to be well. I have 4 children, and my focus was to focus on that. And so about 5 years after, when you're going through cancer, they give you a 5-year remission. You're in remission, and basically they feel very comfortable about letting you know that you're in a good place. Right. Every time I would go through that meeting with the doctor would be always like, oh my goodness, am I going to be okay this time? So my focus in those 5 years was really about that. And when I got the check to go like, you're good, I thought, you know what? That was an important part of my life, going through the journey with cancer. And I thought, I need to share this with women all around the world. Of course, men too. But I said, I need to take this and I need to share it, because it was so important, not just because I was a cancer patient, but because I understood skin and understood what it does by pulling out the toxins and bringing in this water that was healthy. It had the 12 essential minerals like copper and sulfur and magnesium and iron and zinc, big important one, zinc.
Yeah.
So with that, I knew I needed to do something. And that's really when, 6 years ago, Immunocologie was born. It was really about taking that clay and how do we take vitamins from plants? Plants have vitamins in it. And so how do we take those vitamins from those plants and merge it together with this delivery system of this green clay water and make it so that it gets our skin to be vibrant and bright and hydrated and help with the fine lines and get our skin glowing. So for me, the most important part is I was using clean ingredients from all different parts of the world. And so that's another whole story that I have to share with you, but that's how it started. And that was my way of being able to give back to women all around the world, to have a brand that was, and before clean was called clean, this was clean, and the ingredients were always clean. So for me, this is a way of bringing health back to our body through our skin.
Absolutely. So did clay form the basis of your very first product? Was it the clay mask, or which was the very first product that you developed?
It was the clay mask. It was this one right here,
yeah.
The Vital Clay Mask. And this is what I used through my treatment, because there were no other products. I mean, I was just testing it for this particular botanist who said, hey, could this be something that we could use on skin? But I think one of the keys to it is that most people think that clay is going to be drying, because it's absorbing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's very true. Often when of clay being used for oily skin or perhaps acne prone skin.
Yes. And what I discovered through this was it really, because of the clay water that's in the clay, it gives it a much creamier, but that creamy is actually the water. And so one of the things I always like to do is show, so you can see how creamy this is, right?
Yeah.
And that creamy is actually because of the water that we bring into this to hydrate the skin. So whether your skin's oily or whether your skin's dry, your skin is going to balance because of the way that we formulate this, is so that we actually pull out the toxins, put in the water. So we call it absorption and adsorption. Mm-hmm. It's a dual phase that works with our skin, which is so different because it's a patent technology that we're working with to actually create this pull. I call it yin and yang, right? To balance, right?
So you have a unique patent for that.
Yes.
That process.
Yes. So the technology there that we have is actually a patent technology. So it's not something you're going to see in everyone's product. So when people use green clay, they're not using, unless it's Immunocologie, they're not using my product. They'd be just using green clay.
Right.
And green clay has a lot of heavy metals. So you just can't go to Whole Foods, take off the shelf and think you have Immunocologie. There's a lot more to that. And that's where the patent technology comes in.
No, that's fascinating. That's really interesting for everybody to hear, for sure. So why don't we're kind of, in these hot days of summer. I know in New York City where I am, it's, 90 many of these days, humid. So your skin changes and your needs change. They evolve with the seasons. What would be some of your top tips for summer skincare from your range?
Well, first of all, I think, everyone talks about is, how to hydrate the skin, how to make sure that because the skin the body is heated up. So one of the things that we like to do is I love to recommend this, which is our Vital Ionic Mist. Yeah. This is our clay water. And this actually helps to protect our skin from the elements because it also has the minerals in it. has a zinc, and zinc is very important not only to the health of our skin and protect our skin, but it's also great for our immune system. So having this along with the clay water, pulling this into the skin, but this is so refreshing. It's just the clay water. You spray it on your skin, you feel refreshed. And that, the summertime, that's kind of how we feel, like, oh my gosh, I feel so hot. And you just carry this around with you. And I always say a little bit for you and a little bit for me, right?
I love a mist in the summer. Do you keep it in the fridge, or do you recommend keeping it in the fridge?
Well, I think, well, because it's clay water, it has its own coolness, but adding that little extra, sort of like, you know, in some ways it's sort of like adding the ice cubes to your drink, right? You kind of want that cold drink. So this is actually by doing that, and it takes down inflammation on the skin. So if you've been in the sun and you want to take down that inflammation, spray it on your sunburn. It's going to heal the skin nicely. So this is, as a summer retreat for your skin, the Vital Ionic Mist is like very important. And we just did, Colleen, we just did this study on the Vital Ionic Mist. In this study, we did it in France with our lab and our botanist. And what I thought is, if we could take this clay water and get it on our skin, would it protect us from the outside elements? Well, we know it helps protect us from free radicals, but what it also does, it helps protect our skin from what might land on the skin, and it repels it, it inhibits it.
Almost like a big bear?
Yes, yes. Yeah. So I was so excited to hear this, because just knowing skin and knowing how these molecules work, I thought if we could have this tested and see, this could be very helpful to all of us this summer. Hydrate our skin for the transdermal water loss, get our skin protected. It's almost like a bricklayering, where you're protecting, because these molecules of the clay are sitting on the skin through the water.
Right.
You're getting the water to be a drink for the skin while you're protecting. And I like to use it in my hands after I wash my hands, because you know how we've been washing our hands all the time?
Our hands a lot, and using hand sanitizers, and definitely a lot of us are noticing drier hands and drier nails as well.
Yeah. So spray this on our hands and do it like you're washing your hands, so you get it all protected. So when you go, you've sprayed it on your face. So when you go to touch your face, you've also have that ability to inhibit any bacteria or viruses to attack. So really key. I'm really thrilled to be able to have this available and really get incredible results with it. So that key is one of the keys to summer skin. Even if we didn't have COVID, it would be important to have it.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of COVID, we've all been wearing masks, as we should be, to protect as best we can against the pandemic. But we've been seeing a lot about people experiencing breakouts and acne because of the mask wearing. So it does seem to be this new skin condition, maskne, I think is calling it, right?
Yes. We always come up in the beauty industry, we always come up, right, with these new terms of, how to talk about products or, types and things like that. So yes, it's called maskne. So it means mask and acne, right? When you have this transformation of the skin getting clogged. And so this new term, so what I realized is that when we use that, with using a good cleansing, but also using the mist, a simple using our spot treatment. This is our clay, but it's a spot treatment. It's just in a smaller jar, and you just dab it on those spots. And so you can have it under your mask while you're, treating this, or you can use it as a full mask as to actually pull out those toxins that are your skin's getting congested.
So that's like a drying paste?
It is. It's a drying paste. And the skin benefits from it when you actually put it on, because it has the ability to pull out the toxins at the same time hydrate it. Because part of it is you've got that yin and yang of, oh my gosh, I have the blemishes, but I'm really dry.
Yeah.
So part of that process is being able to get that skin to a place where it's not so dry. So what I did is I put together also, which is so delicious, is put together the day or our night protection. So you have a moisturizer for those who are very dry, because some people are getting chapped. So the mist and the day protection, And for those who have the blemishes, it would be the spot treatment and the Vital Ionic Mist to hydrate the skin, and then the moisturizer. So it's interesting because our summer skin this year is going to be a little bit different because we have to deal with the mask on our skin.
That's right. It adds another element to our summer skincare and considerations. Absolutely. Some other things, you know, obviously that come up in the summertime. What about, you know, chlorine from the pool, if you're lucky enough to be in a pool, or if you're in the ocean, salt water, or there's always, you know, that difference. I know when I'm outside and it's 90 and humid and then I step inside and you have the air conditioning blasting, that can be challenging for one's skin in the summer months, for sure.
It is. And, you know, taking that into consideration, you know, doing a mask is really important. So if you're doing the clay mask, that is like being able to pull out those toxins from the pool, right? So that again becomes sort of what I call the multitasker. You use that as a clay mask, or you can use it as a scrub, or you can use it also just as a blending. Because one of the things that I love to do is, because this is so gentle, our cleanser is so hydrating to the skin, and it's a lotion. So for the summer skin that's really has gone through a lot of this, you don't want to strip the skin. Reason for that is the skin's microbiome, when it's really been compromised, the skin changes, and that's why the maskne is happening, you know, when we have the mask acne. And then, you know, I actually said mask me, but it's actually mask acne.
What you're saying.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay. I do that every now and then. I'm good at changing words around. But this is the cleanser, and it's so gentle for the skin. And so if you have that skin that has been compromised from the pools, you don't want to go in with a soapy, lathering cleanser. It's going to strip the skin's barrier. So you want to go in with something very gentle. So this cleansing lotion that I have is really beautiful for the summer skin because it's very light and gentle. But if you need it to be a little more aggressive, you can go in and take a little bit of your clay. This is where the multitasking comes in. And you can make it a creamy clay cleanser, which is beautiful.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. But
Sure.
you know, in something like that, Colleen, if somebody had questions about that, they can always get a consultation with one of our immunocologists, and they'll set them up in the right skincare regimen that will help them for their skin and what they're going through the summertime, or through the maskne, any of that that's going on. The immunocologist, they just have to, you know, reach out to us and go online, and they will then find out, you know, how to protect their skin or how to condition their skin based on their skin condition. So
that's
really
great. We have an amazing group of people who can really provide that sort of bespoke service on your website.
Yes.
Because each person's skin is so different, and to be able to tailor that approach accordingly, I think is really helpful and really important.
It is. And I find that, you know, as much as we think we know what we know, even, you know, all of us women who have been doing skincare, I know men are a little bit more, let's say, a little bit learning more each day, but I know women, you know, have been using some form of product. But the problem with that is when you go into getting to understand your skin and what's going to work best for you. And that's been my whole life, is how do I help you? Not everyone in the room, because I want it to be for you, what your skin needs are, and we'll adjust it. And then next person adjust it for them so they get the best results. And, you know, that way it's better for each person, opposed to just, you know, everybody just pulling off of a shelf and not getting their results.
Yeah. What about if one has a little too much sun and some sunburn and the sensitivities that happen with sun exposure? What might you recommend for that?
So two things that I recommend. One is, again, this mist, which is good, but then also our hyaluronic. This is actually hydrating to the skin. And when the skin is that compromised from sunburn, one of the things that you want to do is go in there and be able to hydrate the skin. So skin, when it's been in the sun, I use kind of a funny description on this, is that, and this, I don't know if people will like this very much, but I do like to share it, because when we get a sunburn, It's like putting a nice piece of roast beef in an oven. And what happens is that it gets baked and you bring it out and it looks really beautiful, but let it sit there a little while and the air takes out all of that moisture and it gets dried out. Our skin does that. So we have to put moisture back into our skin as soon as possible. So missed it, hyaluronic, very, very, very important. And when we do that, this is a dual weighted hyaluronic. It takes water into the skin and pulls water up to the skin. Key factor during the summertime, because we think that the summer, oh, it's wonderful and all this and activities, but the key is that we're pulling a lot of water out of our skin when we sit in the sun.
So hyaluronic acid is really a key ingredient that helps the skin retain the moisture.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Then I love locking it in. So I find especially the repair of the skin, because we have what I call one of the best, I want to say, ways to repair the skin with our Super 7. This is about the 7 signs of aging, but whenever your skin has a compromise situation, a cut, or you're finding your skin in the, you're wanting something for the anti-aging, or again, being in the sun, that's compromised skin. Super 7 actually repairs the skin. Now, what that means is that it has the ability to go in and grab a hold of those skin cells, have a way to slough off the dead skin cells, at the same time, repair them. So the interlocking of those cells that get lifted off is getting repaired underneath. So Super 7 is meant to repair the skin, and we use it in our category of, yes, anti-aging, repair of the skin, corrective care, and preventive care. So summertime, we want that Super 7 on the skin because it's going to prepare the skin and take that skin that's been compromised and repair it. It has snail elixir in it. It's a snail mucin.
What is that? You know, I saw that ingredient. I wanted to ask you. I'm glad that you brought that up, because I wanted to ask you about the snail. Was it a snail extract, or a how is it listed as the ingredient?
Yeah, so it's actually snail mucin.
Okay.
And what that is, it's actually from the snails that they get that goop. And what we do is we freeze dry them. Now, some people say, you know, if they're vegan, they won't want to necessarily use it, but those who are not concerned about vegan, the fact is that we get the goop. We don't harm the snails at all. We don't kill them. We don't kill them. We don't create escargots from them or anything like that.
Those snails were harmed in the process.
We are all about purity. So we take that and we use it and we freeze dry it. And then that goes into our formula. Now we actually have a farm that's actually in France, not too far from our facility where we actually make the products. And the farmer there is always like wanting me to come and see his beautiful snails. So
I would love to see that. That's amazing.
So we get this, we freeze dry it. And Snail Mucin actually has in it peptides and also hyaluronic. So the peptides have the ability to repair. It helps to get rid of the dead skin cells. So it takes away the dead skin cells while we're bringing in that extra hydration to the skin. Doesn't take the place of a hyaluronic acid. It's just one of the components of repairing the skin. So for summer skin that's been compromised, the Super 7 is going to go in and repair that skin. So, you know, just as if you got a burn, I'd say put it on that burn and it's going to repair it. If you get a cut, put it on that cut, it will repair it. So that's what Super 7 does. And so during the summertime, when we've, as you mentioned, being in the sun and you're being, you know, you're coming out of the sun, what do you put on your skin? You take this and you put it on and it starts immediately repairing the skin. So many times we don't know what to do to our skin on our face, especially because of what do? We're sunburned. Well, this is going to help take down inflammation and start to repair the skin.
Amazing. Are all the products made in France?
So all of the ingredients, yes, the products are made in France. I work with a botanist there, and he's also a chemist and a botanist. And we have a second person on who is also a chemist. So together we sit down, I talk about what I want to see happen. We look at these ingredients, and we look at ingredients that are going to bring nutrition to the skin, which is where immunocology comes from. I mean, it's all about bringing wellness and working with the skin's immunity. So yes, and one of the things I want to mention to you that I think is I'm so passionate about is that we actually work with ingredients that come from Africa and from rainforest, and also from India and Colombia. And these ingredients are from really these areas that people have been using these ingredients, one, to eat, right? Many of these like baobab and sunflower, avocado, and one in particular I want to talk about, because these women who work with us in Africa, in Burkina Faso, Senegal, and Camus, we actually set up these businesses for them in co-op. So every time someone buys a product from us, we are keeping them in with food, scholarships. They feel so blessed that I have Immunocologie, because of Immunocologie, they're able to help their children, educate them, and get them scholarships and put food on the table. So I'm so blessed and to be able to know that I'm doing that. And so together he sets up the facility with the government, because you actually partner with the government. That's how they do that there. And the gentleman who actually works with us in Africa is part of the UN. So he's coming to New York, and I'm going to get to see him soon as COVID's a little bit better in New York. And I've never had a chance to meet him. I always wanted to go to Africa to meet the women there, but it's a little dangerous with my immune system. My botanist has said, you know, you get one bite from one of those mosquitoes, your body just may not be able to come back. And so that's one of the reasons I haven't been there, but it makes me feel bad that I haven't been able to go there and be with them and say hello to them and spend some time with them. But I will have that good fortune.
Incorporated into your work.
Yes.
Really important and super interesting as well.
Well, it's fair trade. It's an Agora protocol, working with the UN, and knowing that we're giving back that way is to me so important. And it just sort of completes the circle for me, because I'm able to really look at these ingredients and be able to feel these ingredients and know what I'm putting in here has meaning to just not a bottle, but to people who are part of this journey with me.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So you spoke about the 7 signs of aging. What are those 7 for our not know exactly what they are?
Well, besides having 7 children,
not see them on their face yet.
Besides having 7 children, that can age you, right? So, but actually, most of all, it's when you talk about our 2 little lines up here, our lines on our forehead, and our lines around the eyes, and then we have our areas of lines that can occur, the falling down of the skin around the mouth, the neck. So when you put those all together, we want to really work with the 7 signs of aging, so that we're promoting healthy skin, but also promoting by taking down the inflammation and nourishing the skin. So it's kind of that side of how do I get nourishment into the skin, but have ingredients that will help with the signs of aging. One of the things, Colleen, that I didn't do is I don't do a lot of things like anti-aging products, because I believe if I'm taking down the inflammation, which I do with the products through the clay water, I'm anti-aging. I think anti-aging, we're always wanting to anti-age, don't we? I mean, it's kind of what we think about it even when we're in our 20s, like, or in our teens, we're going, I don't want to get old. I don't want to get old.
Yeah, but so much of it is due to inflammation, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. And I learned that. I mean, that's been something that I've learned over the course of my illness. And we don't take it to heart sometimes. And this is where I really try to take the word anti-aging out, but take the word in to call it inflammation. Let's work on that every single day. Yeah. And if we do that internally and for our gut, it also helps us externally, our energy, how our skin looks, how we feel, all of that comes together as a full circle.
Absolutely. And speaking of, I know you've done so much research on this, but you know, what we eat, what we feed ourselves is so important to the outward appearance, our physical appearance, our skin and beauty. What advice would you give? Foods that we should be eating, especially in summertime, you know, when it's hot, what would some of your recommendations be?
Well, definitely, I will have to say all the beautiful fresh fruits that are out there, but it's very important not to overdo the fruits because there's sugar.
Right.
Sugar breeds bad things for our body. Pardon?
Sugar is one of the main causes of inflammation, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So here we have all these beautiful fruits. So I tend to go to blueberries because it's such an antioxidant. And so there's those sides of it that we have. So I'm very cautious, but I moderately do the fruits. One of the things that's very important though in a bacteria environment is that you freeze the fruit. If you're going to use it in smoothies of any kind, freeze it to kill any bacteria because you just don't know what's on it. So freeze it. The other part is, of course, vegetables. Don't eat, I know we eat a lot of raw vegetables, but I must tell you, we have to be very careful about raw vegetables because raw vegetables can also carry a bacteria. You need it cooked a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, just to kill any of that bacteria on any of those vegetables. And of course, organic is much better than just getting whatever. But
right.
Part of that is being conscious, not just the organic side, but conscious about what we're doing. Like salad bars are very, I say to people, stay away from salad bars because you don't know what's on those lettuces, right? And so we talk about immunity. I'm talking about what we have to do to protect our immune system. And these are the things, and through my cancer journey, I had to learn. I had to learn these things. It wasn't like it came easy because I thought you just kind of go through life thinking these things are okay. And I realized that I have to make a conscious decision that if I'm going to eat a salad, I'm going to eat it at home. I know that lettuce is washed. Nothing has been put on it, no preservatives on it. Not everybody can do that, but I just share that with you that hot is better than cold for the body. And that's why even we talk about, you know, not putting ice in water or
right.
in drinks because it helps to neutralize our gut. So I actually have a drink that I do in the morning, and I start off with water and usually a pH balance, alkaline water. And I add to that a vitamin C, my B vitamins, magnesium, and also K12. And also I do with that, a D3 that I use, and I'll do 5,000 IUs. That is a morning drink. I know smoothies and protein drinks are very good, but it's really important to the body absorb these minerals and vitamins in the morning for the health of the body. So I encourage that type of drink as well. You may do your smoothie with the vegetables or protein, but it's really important to get those liquid vitamins into your body. So I encourage that one. I do that every single morning. I work out every morning. I can't do the nighttime. So you have to do
energy. So yeah, I know a lot of people feel they're best to work out first thing in the morning. Then there's no procrastinating, right?
Done. Yep. Check that off the list.
Yeah. So with summer, we're showing more skin. You know, we're not having to wear as many clothes when it's this hot out. You know, a lot of people pay attention to their face, their neck, etc., but not necessarily the rest of their body. How would you suggest one best looks after the skin of the body during the summer months?
Well, I call it slough, right? You have to slough away the dead skin cells. So I love taking my clay mask and turning it into a scrub because you can feel a little bit of that grain, and I use it on my body to get rid of the dead skin cells. I
mask right shower and use it in the shower?
Yeah, just take it and take a little bit in your hands and you use it all over your body. And it just takes away the dead skin cells. So again, because the clay mask is, you can tell what I've been doing with mine.
You've been using it well, exactly.
I've been using
It's
it
well
well.
loved.
So this is my small version, but I love to take it and use that. So that's what you know, sloughing off the dead skin cells for the summertime is really important. But I have one of the most delicious moisturizers for the skin, which is actually our body serum.
Okay.
It is so beautiful the way the skin glows. And I'll tell you, one of the things about this is that it's a spray. So,
Oh, that's handy.
isn't it? So you just get it on the skin and it is so delicious. Again, it has a clay water in it. Colleen, you are going to love this product. Get out of the shower after being at the beach. You put this on, your skin just glows. It's just so beautiful. And then hydrate it. And it doesn't get on your clothes, which is beautiful.
It's a dry oil, right?
It is.
Yeah, that's great. Not greasy. It's moisturizing, but not greasy. But you get enough of that sheen, you know, on your shins and your forearms and all those places that are exposed in the summer.
And your feet, beautiful.
Yeah.
Put it on your cuticles, right?
Yeah.
Around your toes, just beautiful. And I love, like, you know, here's our body serum, here's our face product. So just a beautiful blend, and the glass is so beautiful. Looks gorgeous in your bathroom, by the way. So and you can travel with it too.
Very elegant. That's great.
So that's a great addition for summer skin. But sloughing is really important to get rid of those dead skin cells and then nourish the skin, you know, with a great hydrator. And that's why I put the body serum together. I really wanted to take that and hydrate the skin, give it a drink. And I use the Belenite's oil in there, which is the dry oil, but that's the oil that we get from Africa. So, so every time I get to sell one of these bottles, I think about our little angels in Africa who are working with me so diligently to make sure I have the right quality of oil every time I put this product together. So really very special.
That's wonderful. Well, I know that you've participated in our COTERIE events in the past, in New York and also in Miami.
Yes.
Which we're, you know, so happy to have that partnership with you. More and more stores are looking to really diversify their assortments, the way they think about merchandising, and you know, pursuing skincare brands, beauty brands, etc. What would some of your, first of all, who are some of your top retailers right now? And what approaches might you suggest to working skincare into their assortments that may be quite heavily at the moment ready to wear accessories, let's say more traditional apparel?
Well, actually, thank you. That's such a great question. And yes, COTERIE, you know, it was really fun when we first started talking with COTERIE, and we were very innovative because we said, you know, wouldn't it be great to create that small little apothecary? It wasn't like it hadn't been done before, but being a luxury brand, I mean, we really have a certain look, and this is our packaging on the outside, and this is, of course, what's in the inside. And we knew that we had a feel for your audience with COTERIE, and we knew that and because we only have 13 products, we knew that it could be very simplified. It didn't have to be a whole cosmetic department like we find at our department stores. So we talked about this and how we can actually take and modify a small amount, you know, of product and curate them for a store. So it becomes a one-stop shop. If you're there, your buyer who's for that store, who's buying fashion, is looking at things that are going to be good for you. And when they find a product like this, they know it's good for you, and there's that confidence. So they feel comfortable with that. So together, you know, that's how we came together, COTERIE and Immunocologie. And so through that, talking with different stores around the country and being able to have this in stores like this, like for example, Kess on the Upper West Side in New York. I mean, she has been a lover of the product. She's had it in the store, and that's the type of thing. We've also had many other retailers. Of course, some retailers are not there because, you know, sometimes the small stores aren't available. We're also in Phoenix in London.
Amazing beauty department actually at Phoenix. I'm always very impressed by it.
Yes, you know, and that you know, it's interesting because Phoenix is like, you know, for here, those that don't know, but Phoenix is the cross between a Saks Fifth Avenue and a Lord and Taylor, right? That kind of feel. So it kind of has that Bergdorf kind of history to it as well, because it's been a family, it's a family owned store, and it's been around for a long time. I was really glad to be in there. Also being, you know, in a place that you can really work with the people, work with the you know, the staff there as well. We're also in some apothecaries in New York as well, such as, I don't know, people know New London. We're also in a group, a little store down in, which is beautiful, down in Amagansett in New York, called Botanica Bazaar. They're also in over in the Palisades in California. So, so we're actually growing in our stores. I mean, we're still really a baby brand, but we're growing in the stores. Have a lot of new stores that are looking at us, and a lot of boutique stores. And that's why this is important for me, because I want to be able to share with the COTERIE stores how we can take, I mean, sometimes I think, Colleen, just having the simple serums available to those women that come into the stores, and just having these 3 serums available,
right,
for a really nice add-on while they're there, and something special for them to try. Or the mist, you know, having the mist there and available as well.
Definitely. And even in you know, resort wear, beach wear stores focused on that, I think it's a great compliment as well.
Yeah, well, you know, we're in Wolf and Badger. I forgot about that. That's another one. That's a great store. And we're there both.
Right?
Pardon?
New York and London.
Yes, New York and London. And they find some incredible fashion and designers out there as well. And we've teamed up with designers as well, which has been amazing. Different designers, and we've done different fashion the back of the show at Fashion Week, where we've done the skin and made sure that the skins were prepared. And it's been, you know, for us, it's been a wonderful journey being part of these really bespoke brands, and them getting to know us, and more so. I mean, I know the future is more about, you know, getting something like this in and building on these small stores, so that I love being able to go to a small store with special designers and find that fit that fits me. And, you know, that's how I like to shop. So COTERIE makes me feel like I'm right there in those little stores and getting to know those fashion designers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, we are, I can't believe it, we're already at our 5:48 now.
It's amazing. It goes by so fast.
You're having fun. I so enjoyed this chat with you. I'm very sorry about that little technical glitch in the beginning, but I'm glad we connected. And once again, to all the viewers, we have a special discount for all of you on the Immunocologie.com site-wide, 15% off through July 15th. And at checkout, you enter the code COTERIE15 to receive that discount, and that's COTERIE, all caps, 15. So hopefully you'll be able to enjoy some of these wonderful products that we've just spoken about. And it was really fascinating to learn more about them and to hear about your philosophy behind the range, which is so impressive.
Thank you so much. And I just also want to quickly mention that because of COVID, we have put together these different packages of where, you know, the mist and the mask, and then also in a couple of them, they get a free actual face mask as well with that.
That's great. That's a great bonus. It's sheet black mask.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Keep on brand, right? Keep on,
very
on brand.
And very nice gift with purchase.
So, and if anyone has any questions, you know, please reach out to us. I would be happy to help. And anyone who has interest in bringing Immunocologie into their stores, we would love and honor to, you know, be able to be there to help you and put any of these packages together, really to help the community of your clients out there that we can help. We would be happy to do that. So I'm so happy to be here, Colleen, and to be with all of you.
I so enjoyed this, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your evening, and I can't wait to see you in person very soon. hope.
Soon we will be there together.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.